Episode 1. Why Signal Dies in a World Built for Spectacle. Before we begin, subscribe to the Novostar Signal. Share this transmission with the people who still recognize weight, not made to please, made to hit. Welcome to the Novostar Signal. This is not a comfort broadcast. This is not content for background noise. This is not here to entertain your distraction while you scroll through the ruins of your attention. This is for people who can still recognize weight. People who still know the difference between something built to last and something built to be seen. Because that is the fracture now. Not left or right, not old or young, not even success or failure. The real fracture is signal versus spectacle. And spectacle is winning. Spectacle is loud, spectacle is fast, spectacle knows exactly how to dress itself. It knows how to pose. It knows how to flatter the algorithm. It knows how to trigger reaction. It knows how to look important long before it becomes anything real. Signal is different. Signal does not beg. Signal does not dance for approval. Signal does not explain itself every 5 seconds. Signal is structure. Signal is weight. Signal is what remains when the lights go off and nobody is clapping. And that is exactly why this world rejects it. Because we live inside systems that reward display more than depth. Modern culture does not ask, what did you build? It asks, did people react? Did they click? Did they comment? Did they share? Did they stare at your face for 3 seconds before moving to the next synthetic emergency? That is the sickness. A civilization of reaction replacing a civilization of construction. People no longer want to become, they want to appear. They do not want mastery, they want signals of mastery. They do not want discipline, they want the costume of discipline. They do not want truth, they want language that sounds like truth without the cost of living it. And after enough exposure, something inside people starts mutating. They begin to organize themselves around visibility. Not around inner law, not around standards, not around work, not around mission. Around visibility. They start speaking in performative fragments. They start shaping opinions for effect. They start living in public before they have built anything in private. They confuse being witnessed with being real. That confusion destroys people. Because being seen is not the same as being formed. A man can post every day and still be hollow. A creator can flood every platform and still have no center. A speaker can sound powerful and still be spiritually weak. A brand can look polished and still be built on air. This is why so much of modern language feels dead. You hear it everywhere. Corporate language, therapy language, motivational language, influencer language, political language, even fake spiritual language. All of it overprocessed, all of it designed not to cut, all of it rounded at the edges, all of it optimized to be tolerated. But anything made to be tolerated by everyone usually says nothing. Real language has temperature, real language has consequence, real language carries the pressure of lived contact with reality. That is what people are starving for now. Not more information. They are starving for words that were not assembled by committee, for voices that are not begging to be liked, for something that still has bone in it. And here is the darker part. Most people say they want truth. They do not. Most people want emotional furniture, something soft enough to sit on while life decays around them. Truth is expensive. Truth reorganizes things, truth cuts alliances, truth strips vanity, truth exposes what you are performing, truth ruins the image that helped you survive socially, truth makes you choose. That is why spectacle is easier. Spectacle lets you feel without changing, it lets you react without building, it lets you posture without sacrifice. It lets you borrow the shape of conviction without enduring the cost of conviction. You can look intense, look informed, look deep, look wounded, look awakened, look rebellious, look refined. All without becoming strong. That is the economy now. A marketplace of appearances. And inside that marketplace, signal becomes almost offensive. Because real signal creates contrast. A disciplined person creates contrast. A quiet person with standards creates contrast. A builder creates contrast. Someone who does not explain, does not chase, does not perform, and does not leak themselves into every room creates contrast. And weak environments hate contrast. They call it cold, they call it too intense, they call it harsh, they call it strange. But usually what they mean is this: your structure exposes my drift. Your silence exposes my noise. Your discipline exposes my excuses. That is why people who live on chatter often pull away from weight, not because the weight attacked them, because it removed the hooks. There was nothing to grab, nothing to manipulate, nothing to feed on. Just presence. And presence is unbearable to people who survive through performance. So what do you do in a world like this? First, you stop confusing expression with value. Just because something is visible does not mean it matters. Second, you stop narrating everything. Not every process needs an audience. Not every insight needs a caption. Not every shift needs a post. Some things become real only after they survive in silence. Third, you build private proof. Not slogans, not declarations, proof. Workouts completed, skills sharpened, tracks finished, languages studied, money handled, systems built, promises kept. Private proof rebuilds the spine. It gives you something spectacle can never give you. Self-respect without witnesses. And once you taste that, performance starts to feel cheap. Because applause cannot replace architecture. Then you become more selective with language. Say less, mean more. Stop padding truth so everybody can digest it. Stop turning every conviction into a soft package. Stop volunteering your inner structure to rooms that have done nothing to deserve it. Not everything sacred needs exposure. Not every signal should be public. Some of the strongest things in a life are built where nobody can photograph them. That is where identity hardens. Not in display, in repetition. Not in branding, in burden. Not in being noticed, in becoming undeniable. This is the paradox. The more the world rewards spectacle, the more valuable real signal becomes. Because signal is now rare. A person who can still focus is rare. A person who can still build quietly is rare. A person who can still speak plainly is rare. A person who can still hold a standard without turning it into theater is rare. That rarity is power. Not fake power, not social power, not viral power. Structural power. The kind that changes a room without begging for it. The kind that survives trends. The kind that does not collapse when attention moves elsewhere. So no, this is not made to please. It is made to hit. Because some things should hit. Some truth should arrive like steel, not cruelty, not performance, impact. The world has enough decoration, it needs more weight. That is the mission here. To reject noise, to protect signal, to speak with force when force is needed, to remember that substance still matters, even inside a culture designed to replace it with spectacle. So build more than you display. Protect more than you announce. And do not mistake visibility for victory. Because in the end, what matters is not what flashed. It is what held. This is the Novostar Signal. If this hit, subscribe. If you know someone still drowning in noise, share this transmission. Leave the spectacle to the others. Stay with the signal. End of transmission.